What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got an awesome video for us. We're going to be talking how to master your transformation. As you can see, going from that insecure and depressed kid to that confident and jacked. And I want to show you guys exactly how I was able to do that with this blueprint down here. So I broke this down to 4 essential parts. Of course, we have the ability for the physique mastery, the nutrition, the mindset, and how we're going to sew everything together. So you can get a 4-step guide on how I was able to do this in 8 years and literally in 20 minutes. I think this video is going to come out to. So guys, thank you again, and let's get right back into it. So guys, if we're talking about how to maximize your results for a physique mastery, I broke this down into 3 essentials. You have your training splits, your maximize for muscle growth, and then formatting your workouts. These 3 are going to literally shape how you work out and what you need to do right now so you can walk around with this video and get exactly what you need. So guys, when we talk about our training splits are really important. As you can see, we have the 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to kind of break this down. So when I talk about this, we have to align our training split days with how many days we're actually working out. So if we're going anywhere at the gym between 3 days, you resort to a full body workout. 4 days, you're gonna do an upper and lower, and then 5 and 6 in either an Arnold or a push-pull leg split. Those are really gonna allow you to maximize your muscle growth and really allow that you're hitting the essential muscle groups simultaneously for you to pack on muscle quicker. So when we talk about like how to format our workouts, multiple muscle groups simultaneously, as you can see, I break this down in the next step, but it's first important to make sure we actually format our workout the right way, and that's the first step on how we're going to do it. We're going to make sure we essentially align our training splits with the training days, and then we're going to align this with our training frequencies, which actually I'm going to break down the next step right now. So the training frequency, guys, actually breaks down how many how many times you're actually hitting the muscle over time for the week, and then the weeks compound to months, years, and a new identity, and that's how you get some unrecognizable results, to say the least. So training frequency, so it's really important. Like as I mentioned, the reason I chose these splits, the 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you're 3 days, you're gonna do a full body. 4 days upper and lower, 5 and 6, and you could go push pull legs or your Arnold split. And the reason it's so important is because you're allowing yourself to hit multiple muscle groups simultaneously. So if you increase the amount of muscle groups you're going to hit for that direct muscle, so for example, if you're doing push-pull legs, certain exercises hit multiple muscle groups, so like your compound lifts, which I'm going to get into the next step, but kind of ties into this step, is your compound lifts, your bench press, your overhead shoulder press, barbell row, squats, hit multiple muscle groups. So for example, your chest press doesn't only hit your chest, it hits your chest, shoulders, and triceps, your core. So if we can increase the amount of times we're actually hitting these compound lifts, we can then increase the training frequency about the muscles we're doing for each. So you're gonna get the ability instead of hitting, maybe you're on Monday you're doing chest, Tuesday arms, Wednesday back, Thursday shoulders. You're going to do multiple muscle groups. You're going to hit, that's why these push-pull legs with these Arnolds will allow you to do that, to increase the amount of times you're actually going to hit this. So it's really important. So for example, if we're going to do a push-pull leg split, so maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, push-pull legs, then we can take Thursday off, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, however you like your split, to be honest. Those workouts right there allow you to essentially hit that training or that training group of that muscle more times per week. So if we break down the actual workout itself, so on Monday, say we do a push and we're doing overhead shoulder press, incline bench press, and a bench press. A 3 right there gives you the ability, as you can see, the numbers start to compound, and the more times you can actually increase this, the more times we hit more muscle groups, and then hence you're going to hit that muscle maybe 3 or 4 times per week compared to that 1 or 2. Compound over that weeks. I mean, guys, the results are going to be unbelievable. So that's why I kind of tie in the training days, the training splits to the training frequencies, and that's how you actually stimulate more muscle growth at a quicker rate. And forget about, just doing that. And then on top of these 2 things on, maximizing muscle growth, and then the format and the workouts is going to give you the entire blueprint you need just for the, to maximize your results faster for the physique mastery. As you guys, I did, this is exactly what I did. So I really want to condense 8 years in 20 minutes. So let's talk about how to maximize your muscle growth. So when we talk about progressive overload, now that we understand how our workout's going to look with our training splits, we need to understand how we're going to build muscle quicker. And there's a technique everyone needs to know, which is progressive overload. Progressive overload is the ability to build muscle, quickly, essentially, to keep it short. So there's certain rep ranges you have to operationalize your workouts in. So for compound lifts, as I mentioned, your bench press, your overhead shoulder press, your barbell row, your back squat, any of these are allowing you to essentially do exactly what you need to do to pack on that muscle. And the compound lifts do just that. Now we're going to talk about the rep ranges. So when we talk about maximizing muscle growth, we have to understand that there's certain rep ranges for each exercise. So we have our compound lifts and our isolation lifts. So our compound lifts essentially, guys, are the ability to hit multiple muscle groups, as I mentioned. So your barbell row, your bench press, your barbell squat, overhead shoulder press, and you want to operate or operationalize these reps in anywhere from 6 to 9 reps. And your isolation lifts, which are a subgroup of that muscle group. So for example, you have your chest, and then your subgroup of it could be like your decline, so your lower part of your chest. That's a submuscle group. So for your compound movements, you're going to operationalize from 6 to 9 reps, and your isolation movements 10 to 12. Those give you the rep ranges you need to build muscle. Those are, predominantly the rep ranges you want to operationalize it. And the way you're going to do this or execute essentially, you're going to do 3 or 4 sets, and you're going to operationalize in the rep range of 6 to 9. Once you cap off the 9 rep range for each one, you're going to increase the weight, your reps are going to decrease, you rinse, repeat, and that's how you're going to build muscle. And then, of course, that ties in, as I said, to the compound and isolation lift. You always want to start your workouts with your compound lift. So, that's why you see a lot of people always start with like a back squat when they do legs, or, when they do chest, they're doing their bench press, because you want to start your lift with the compound lift because you have the most energy expenditure. You have multiple muscle groups. It's, the ability to build muscle, all this different stuff. And then you end with your isolation movement. So that's how you kind of, maximize your muscle growth, and then formatting it. So this is the third piece of it. So formatting your workouts is extremely important, and you want to structure your sessions effectively, as I just mentioned right here. So that's why I said like this one kind of falls into these two, because once you get your training split and the ability to really maximize your muscle growth, this just formats itself. But there's a couple of points I obviously want to lay out. Structuring your sessions effectively, we just talked about that. You start with your compound lifts, and then you end with your isolation movements, and then prioritize your rest and recovery, and the less is more kind of mechanism. So guys, less is more is really important, because a lot of people get this confused, and actually is very detrimental to their overall growth. Overtraining is real. So you have to understand, you don't need to train 2 hours every day for 6 days a week. You could do 60 to 75 minutes. That's fine. Just make sure when you're going to the gym, you're actually working, you have a rest time, you're operationalizing, you're doing exactly what you need to do, and you're not literally being the shitter and just doing nothing. So that's why I mean less is more. You can spend 60 to 75 minutes. You can have 1 or 2 days off and really recoverize through your nutrition, which we're going to get to the second part, and to essentially allow yourself to maximize your growth over time. So that's how you're going to do it. Less is more, guys. You need 60 to 75 minutes. You can work out 4 to 6 days. That's fine. But make sure you prioritize your recovery, not overtraining, getting the right nutrients, get an adequate rest. All these different things allow you to speed up muscle growth, because muscle growth is really important when you actually sleep. That's how your muscles rebuild. You need sleep. And if you're not recovering, you're always training, you're not giving your muscles the essential energy they need to recover, and hence you're just overtraining. You're not going to be able to, you're going to be more fatigued, all this different stuff, all because you're not giving yourself the proper rest. So extremely important. Now we talk about, guys, nutrition and macros. So this gives us, everything we need in regards to the model we need to essentially pack on muscle effectively. But it doesn't matter if you don't have nutrition. And then I'm going to seal it together in the third point, which I'm going to leave it for you guys. It's, building that undeniable mindset, the Unbreakable, the foundational framework, long-term sustainability, longevity, how I'll explain everything, how it ties in. So nutrition and macros, quick sheet essentials. So in order for you to get your maintenance calories, this is really important. You need to understand where to start. So the way I want you guys to start essentially is to make sure you weigh yourself for 5 days and you track all your foods for 5 days. Very simple, very easy. What you're going to do is use a resource called MyFitnessPal. You're going to log all your foods. I don't care what you eat. You just eat normal. Just don't change your eating habits. Eat normal, because then you can actually really see what your calorie intake is. And then you're also going to weigh yourself for 5 days. So you're going to do those 2 things, and you're either going to see your weight keep on increasing or decreasing. And that's how you know to adjust your calories up and down. And that can kind of give you a medium on where your calorie intake is. Plus, you can use a TDE calculator online. So you have 2 data points to kind of see where you're at. And then you can get a very educated guess right there. And that's going to give you exactly what you need. Again, so you're going to have your baseline, and then you're going to, of course, adjust it towards your program's goal. If you're going to increase weight, you're going to increase the calories. If you're going to, shred fat, you're going to decrease calories by 300 to 500. For a lean bulk, I like anywhere from 150 to 300. Standard bulk, 500 calories over. And then if you're shredding fat, 300 to 500. And then you adapt as you go. depending on your body, adjust and work and everything, all that cool stuff. But that's why it's so important to work with someone to essentially know their frameworks and how they used it to essentially take you from where you are right now to where you want to go, give you this step-by-step guide, because it's not a straightforward, you have to make adjustments, you have to do all this different stuff. So make sure you're willing to make those adjustments if you're doing it on your own, because you need to know when to fix it. If you're not fixing it, you're going to just be in the same spot, and that kind of gets you nowhere. So really important for that. And then now let's break down the essentials, the proteins, carbs, and fats. So when we talk about these three guys, the proteins are, of course, the building blocks for building muscle. There's so many protein sources. You have ground beef, ground turkey, eggs, steak, chicken. Just make sure you find a protein source that's sustainable for you. Make sure you enjoy what you eat. Like most people eat the same foods. I eat the same foods every day, but make sure you enjoy it. You don't have to eat chicken and rice every day, but make sure it's an adequate protein source. Not Burger King, not McDonald's, but an adequate protein source. And then your carbs are really important, guys. So carbs are essentially labeled as your complex carbs. I don't use standard carbs, so no pretzels, sodas, candies. I throw that shit out. So then we have complex carbs, sweet potatoes, white rice, quinoa, all this different stuff that allows you to really optimize your energy the right way to feel better throughout the day. So that's really important. Guys, the reason complex carbs are so much better because, of course, it's higher in fiber. It's, some of them are less calories, but don't really focus on the calorie intake. Of course, calories are important, but what I'm trying to get is you're going to have the right energy optimized. You're going to feel full longer, which then comes down from the calories. So think about it like that. Just make sure you're using the right foods to give you the right amount of energy. You're going to think differently. You're going to feel better. All this different stuff when you actually fill your body with good stuff and not essential crap. And then your fats, guys. Fats are really important. They regulate your hormones, all that good stuff. But your fats, get it from the right fats. We talk about nuts, so we have pistachios, walnuts, almonds, cashews, all those. Olive oil is a great resource for oil. Dark chocolate, these are good resources. So make sure you're optimizing from the right fats and not just the crap that is literally not going to do anything for you. And then, guys, now let's talk about the meal time and how we're going to sew this together. So the meal time is extremely important. So what I suggest you before your workouts is 1 to 2 hours. You get a meal that's at your complex carbs, as I mentioned here. That's going to give you the sufficient amount of energy to really maximize your workout. So that's really important. So if you have your complex carbs, so maybe you're having quinoa with some fruit, whatever you want, whatever's fit towards you and your lifestyle, make sure you get that so you have an adequate amount of energy to work out. Really important for that. And then after, of course, you really want to get the protein and carbs, after your workout to fill up those glycogen stores, so you get the energy back. And then the protein is extremely important, as everyone knows. So those are kind of how I'd break it up. And that's how, the essential framework you can go about your nutrition and macros. Of course, guys, you want to look for long-term sustainability, not quick fixes, because essentially you have to think about what is my diet going to be able to do for me to sustain it long term? Is it 4 meals? Is it 50 meals? I don't care how many goddamn meals you eat. Just make sure it's sustainable in what you do throughout the day, and then tailor your macros towards that. And that's how you get long-term sustainability, because then essentially just adapts to your lifestyle. And then, guys, building an unbreakable mindset. So, guys, as you can see, I'm nothing special. I've been through it all. 1, 2, 3, and I wish if I honestly saw these frameworks, I implemented these frameworks, listen to this video, I can go from here to here in half the amount of time. It literally takes action. It literally just takes the stuff I formatted here and apply it, and I promise you're going to see results way quicker because you're actually following a framework that works. This essentially ties everything together, but it's all about building an unbreakable mindset. So how we're doing this is we need to make sure the nutrition and the essential physique or the training doesn't matter if you have an unbreakable mindset, because everything just essentially just falls apart. So when we talk about this, guys, habits and discipline are extremely important. So we have to start our days with small daily wins. This is guys, this is very important, because if you're not starting your days with small wins, your routine, your structure, you're not giving yourself the confidence to move forward. And these just tie into how you train. And when you get setbacks, plateaus, as I'm going to talk about, it just ties into the right term thinking that you need to sustain the training. Because, guys, you're not going to get your results in weeks and months. Yes, you can see some pretty cool results, I'm not going to lie, but you want to make it a lifestyle sustainable. Sustainable is how you essentially craft a new identity, and these are the things you need to essentially sustain it long term. So the habits and daily structure. So, guys, start your days with small wins, your routine. So maybe you're waking up, you're making your bed, you're journaling, you're getting some high energy exposure, so push-ups, you're going to train, whatever it is, just to start your day right, to get you in the right mindset for you to win the day. That's so important, and a lot of people undermine that because they want to wake up and dead scroll on TikTok. Guys, you can't be doing that shit. It's not productive. So look at something that's productive that gets you in a high energy frequency state for you to move and win the day, essentially. So and then what you're going to do is develop consistency over time that equals sustainability. Because when you do something consistent, when you build discipline, when you get up at the same time every morning, you drink the same glass of water every single morning. You get what I'm saying? You eat the same foods every single morning for your pre-workout snack to go to the gym. You build an identity. It becomes consistent. It becomes a structure. It becomes a routine. And that's how you're going to get sustainability. And that's how it literally flows in to the direct results of you putting proper inputs to get the body you want. Because take this skill set and just apply it to the gym, apply it to other parts of your life, and it just literally compounds. And then this ties into the mindset. So this literally goes from one, habits and discipline, to the mindset transformation, because this is the essential building blocks you need to sustain it long term. And then, because guys, what's going to happen is when you start building habits and discipline, you're going to be able to overcome the setbacks that happen. You're going to not go through periods where you're not going to see growth. Like, guys, look, everyone goes through. You're going to see periods you not see growth. But if you look at it from two different perspectives, not from like, wow, like this shit sucks, I want to quit, but like, all right, what am I doing different? How can I learn from this experiences? How can I move it forward and still get the results I want? You're going to go through it. It's how you adjust in those periods. That's why working with someone's so important, because they essentially eliminate these setbacks, and they cut off at the throat right away. That's why it's so important. But if you're doing this on your own, make sure you develop this mindset, because everyone goes through this. It's just how you adjust and how you go through it that is literally like the game changer, and that's how you're gonna win. You have to look at like failure as two different avenues. You're gonna be successful, or you're gonna be successful with it, or you're gonna drown in your sorrow. So be successful with it. Look at it as a learning opportunity, and the more you look at it as a learning opportunity, the more you're gonna grow. The more you're gonna grow, the more you're gonna learn. The more you're gonna learn, the more you're gonna succeed. That's just how it goes, and that's how it falls into long-term growth and being unbreakable. Because if you could think as your failures as essential wins, because they are wins, you're learning from your experiences, then you're building an unbreakable mindset. And this is how you actually speed up your timeline to success, because you're looking at failure as a different avenue instead of just like win or lose. Don't look about win or lose. Look at what I learned, what can I take from it, how can I adjust moving forward, and that's going to allow you to get unrecognizable results and an unrecognizable identity. And this kind of ties it into connecting with the dots and building that unrecognizable growth, essentially, because you're looking at sustainability over quick term fixes. No crash diets, as I said, no overtraining, as I mentioned the training, crash diets, guys, the carnivore diet. If you're starving yourself, depleting on your carbs, don't look at it like that. Look at long-term sustainability. How can I do something right now that will sustain long-term? So important, and it's only going to allow you to win in the long run. And then, as I mentioned, guys, everything comes from sustainability and building a lifestyle as you can maintain it. Like, guys, if you run 10 miles, in the morning to lose weight, that's not sustainable. You're not gonna be able to do that every day. So look at stuff like that's why it goes back to your daily habits, your structure, your routine, because everything ties into each other. And if you're depleting one area, it's like, look at it like a tripod. If you kick one leg out, it's not gonna stand the right way. That's exactly how you have to look at this. There's three pillars of this, the training, the mindset, and the physique, of course, but your mindset's literally a foundation. If you don't have a good foundation, the other two just essentially break. So then, guys, unlocking your full potential is when you align these three, transform your life to be better. And that's just how it works, guys. You're literally transforming your life to be the best version of yourself. Everything you need, because you're doing everything you need every single day. Rely on these inputs to become your best self and unlock your dream body. I just said, guys, like I've been on both sides. I've been on both sides. So it's your responsibility to make sure you put in those inputs every single day, because you're only like, guys, anyone can get these results. I'm no different from you. Like, I just showed up every day. So show up every single day. Hold yourself to that promise, and the transformation is unrecognizable growth. And you could literally fast track your results. I did this in 8 years and put this in 20 minutes. This is a framework you need. But again, guys, it all comes down to how bad do you want, how bad are you willing to work. I think I'm recording this video at 7:52 a.m. on Friday right now. How bad do you want it? Just keep on working. Guys, it's gonna come. Just rely on these inputs. And then, guys, as I mentioned, I always show everything that I do in a day. I linked my IG because I just show like how I go about my day-to-day, my training, my nutrition, my tips, tricks, everything. So make sure to check me out. I do everything I can to provide as much actionable game for you guys to use every single day. And I really undermine the personal development mindset keys that would really help accelerate your growth. Guys, look essentially you have to look at it like this. Like, personal development is the foundational framework. Of course, the mindset is as well. Those are kind of hand in hand. And then your training, nutrition only get accelerated because you're thinking right. If you think right, then the results just essentially come. And that's exactly how I go about essentially mastering your physique, because it's not just mastering your physique, it's about becoming the best version of yourself. But there's three pillars to become the best version of yourself: nutrition, training, and then of course I think the mindset goes into discipline, accountability, consistency. I think that kind of makes it up, but that's how you're going to win the game instead of just looking at training. Training's not the way you're going to win. You need all three pillars to succeed, and when you have all three pillars, that's how you become your best self. That's how you become the person you want. You speak confidently, you talk differently, you align your values with where your goals are, you have ambitions, you want to unlock your fullest potential, all this different stuff when you essentially align and have these pillars that make up your identity. So really happy I was able to put this video together for you guys. I think this was an absolute banger. So again, please make sure you want to master your transformation. Everyone goes from an insecure or depressed to essentially confident and jacked. You just have to make sure you're doing these essential frameworks, so you to maximize your fast results for the physique mastery, nutrition macros, build an unbreakable mindset, connecting the dots. All of this fills into each other. So once you do that, guys, it's only going to allow you to accelerate your growth and be the person you want to be. So appreciate you guys watching another video on the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. You leave a comment down below what you really like so I can make more content like this. Guys, again, applied action is what's going to move you forward. If you watch this and literally do nothing, you wasted your time. So please, once you watch this, apply action and start changing your life, because that's essentially how you're going to move the needle forward instead of being the same place and you're not getting anywhere. Extremely important, guys. So please do that. Again, thank you for watching another video on the channel, and we'll go ahead and see the next one.